they deal with the supporter side of the things. They were fantastic, because I never did anything like this before. I didn't know what way to go, who to go for. Actually, Chuck in Austin Spurs and Mags in Dublin Spurs, they were good to me as well now. They gave me a lot of advice. So it kind of kick-started from there. I mean, for the Champions League final, we had about 50 watching it.
Wow.
It was just a small little downstairs in the pub. We were crammed in now, and it just developed from there. So far, we're official now, and we've about 70 odd members. We have, and Ella would be, I don't know, do you know Ella? Well, I'd imagine I'd be surprised if no sports fan didn't hear her, Ella Markham.
Yeah.
Remember last year when she was kind of abused online after the West Ham game? I contacted Neil, and I said, look, I'd like to make her a member of Limerick Spurs. And say, would that be okay?
Nice.
Never spoke to Neil before in my life, but it was just something. It's something I tried to do with Limerick Spurs. I'm trying to help as many people as possible. That's my kind of drive forward. Obviously, we're a supporters club, follow Spurs, all that kind of stuff. But I try and use it as a tool to try and help as many people as possible. So
that's great.
Neil said, look, yeah, I'd absolutely love it. And one of the local papers here in Limerick, the Limerick Leader, they did a story on Neil. And what I didn't realise was, Neil said actually on the interview in the paper that he was offered flights, holidays, loads of stuff because of what happened to Ella. Well, Ella was offered, and he turned every single one of them down. And the only offer he accepted was from me, because he said he knew the way I spoke, it actually came across. It came from the heart. It wasn't the case of, this is the publicised Limerick Spurs or anything like that. It actually came from the heart, which it did. Yeah. So we went over, about 30 of us. I organised a trip for 30 of us to go over for the Bournemouth game.
Oh, yeah.
And we met up with Ella and Neil over, which was lovely. That was the highlight of my season. So we met up, and we actually had right in front of the stadium, Ella in the middle. So that was kind of, since then, I suppose we've kind of progressed, and we're kind of doing stuff off football, kind of that's I just try and promote it as well, like the partnership with the Limerick Mental Health Association. That was just something I was kind of going, right, members are stuck at home, members struggle. Not even members, the general public as well. It doesn't. I mean, I've always said, a person doesn't have to be a member just to phone me. I don't care if a person, be it a Spurs fan, Arsenal fan, Chelsea fan. I really don't care, because to me, mental health doesn't discriminate whether you're a Chelsea or Arsenal or what colour you are or what religion you are. I honestly couldn't care less. So we made that partnership about 3 or 4 weeks ago. We did. So that was a nice little one to do, because, as I said, it was for the members and the general public and the whole lot. But we'll look step by step. Now, will we have 70 members this year? I don't know. Purely because of, I don't know when we're going to be going back over again. And that will be one of the main reasons a lot of members would join, because they can't get tickets. We're kind of given an allocation. When I applied for tickets every game members want to go over to, and 9 times out of 10 we'll kind of get the tickets. But I don't know what way it's going to go this year. So
exactly. Yeah.
It's going to be like an allocation, isn't it? So
it's an allocation. So I mean, like we have a membership fee. So last year it was €20, but you got your membership card and the Limerick Spurs T-shirt, and then there was 2 drinks paid for the Christmas party. So any extra money that was there, that was done. And as well, then if somebody wanted something, or if a member was stuck for something, I'd give it to them. Look, money to me, I'm not loaded. Money to me is trivial. I couldn't care less about it. I couldn't. So we try and use that money, that membership money, to help as much as possible, to just to try and promote it. So this season, I can't see the membership being €20, to be totally honest, because a lot of people are out of work. A lot of people have lost jobs.
Yeah.
So I couldn't justify charging a member €20 if they can't get over to watch a game or whatever. So I looked at the whole committee, kind of need to look at that as a whole, just to see. So we don't know what way that's going to work.
Yeah.
So do you have some members that will just be members and go to meet up in your pub and watch meet as a group and watch, and do you have some that will will wanted to get to as many games as possible over in the stadium.
Oh yeah. You'd have a mixture of both, to be totally honest, Steve. I mean, you've the likes of me. I go over 2 or 3 times a year because I bring my son, and it costs an absolute fortune for us to travel from here, because you're talking tickets, hotel, trains, stuff like that. So that's double. So for me to go over to a match, we're talking the bones of €1,000.
What's the route? What's the route, Paddy, from Limerick? What is the route from Limerick to White Hart Lane?
Shannon to Stansted.
Shannon to Stansted.
Yeah. And then we normally stay in the Stansted airport, the Hilton, I think it's called the Hilton by Stansted or something like that.
Okay.
We normally stay there because it's easier to get from there straight to the airport the following. I mean, look, we'd always stay overnight because we can't do a morning game.
Yeah.
We can't. So we'd always stay overnight.
So then you come into Northumberland Park, do you?
Yeah. Or the Seven Sisters, whichever. Normally Northumberland Park, and we just walk up. I mean, like, for example, we went to the Bayern game, 4 of us. There's myself, my son Ryan, there'd be Les and Ryan, then his son and dad, that we kind of go to games, just the 4 of us together. Yeah. And we went to the Hammering game, the 7-2 game. We left home at 4 o'clock that morning.
Oh, God.
We didn't get back to the hotel until 12:30 that night.
So from your house to Shannon Airport, what's that? That's like a 2-hour...
No, it's about 40 minutes.
40 minutes?
Yeah, it's about 40 minutes. But see, it's the flights. The flights catch us because the only 2 flights go on a Saturday to Stansted. So it's either a 7:30 flight in the morning, or it's 6:30, I think, or 7:30. So we have to get the 7:30 flight in the morning. So obviously you check in 2 hours beforehand. So we're in the airport at 5 o'clock on a Friday morning, let's say, or Saturday morning, to get the 7:30 flight. We're outside the ground at 10 o'clock for a 3 o'clock game. Nice. Yeah. So we're kind of walking around the place with nothing to do for...
Well, gee, Steve's at redemption about that time, aren't you, Steve?
I'm usually in bed at 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm just I always used to when we used to play at Wembley and stuff, and even like, you know, just at some of the games at White Hart Lane, and I'd see people that would be like outside the ground, and they were there at sort of like 12 and I'm thinking, fuck me, I'm not fanning right. I don't know. I must be doing this. I'm not doing this right because I haven't got changed yet. I haven't decided what I'm wearing and all this. And they've all like, you know, I'm going to name him. So Lanky, was he Lanky Spurs or Lanky Chris? I can't remember.
Chris.
Yeah.
Chris. I guarantee you 90% of those fans that are outside the front probably have landed at 10:30, 9:30, 10:30, and there's nothing else to do. Yeah, it's a long day. I mean, we don't get home. No, if it's a 12:30 match, it's perfect. But there was no 12:30 match this year at home. If it's a 12:30 match, we're fine because we're in Stansted at 10:30. We're straight to the ground, and we're home again by 8:30 that night. It's perfect. But there was no 12:30 game this season at home. And I was praying for one, but there was none.
Paddy, have you had any trips that have turned into an absolute nightmare in terms of things have just gone completely wrong? In terms of missing flights or flights going wrong, or...
Me, is it? Is it me, Jamie, you're asking that, is it, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah. No. I'm... My son Ryan calls me Sergeant Major.
Right, okay.
I'm meticulous when it comes... Because, you see, I won't even drink when we go to matches. It's something I've done since he's been 3 or 4. I couldn't be bothered, so I'm fine. No, I've met some lads that have travelled with us, and they can't even remember getting on the plane coming home.
Not Rich O'Connell, is it?
No, it's actually not Richie. Do you know, you'd know him, Stace. Jason Lee.
Jason Lee, yeah. Brilliant. He loves to drink.
We've met him in Stansted, and he has been absolutely lattered. Yes, but he's a funny man.
I can fly from Gatwick to Shannon for 30 quid, so I've got to pay you boys a visit.
You're going to have to, yeah.
I'm coming over.
Let's do that. Yeah, let's get over there.
30 quid. There's hotels there's loads of hotels in Limerick, so yeah.
Loads. There is. The only thing is the pubs might be open because all our pubs are still closed.
I know, yeah.
They are. Yeah.
Can't be having that.
No.
Wait for the pub strike first.
No.
So Paddy, you spoke about some of the some of the good stuff that you've done with the the supporters club, and certainly with the games when after Project Restart with the games, as you mentioned, Ella, and I think you've had a couple of spots on the supporters wall, I think, haven't you? You gave one to Ella, and there was another lad that you
I gave it to Owen and D. Owen would be, or D would be Owen's mother, and I actually came to know them through the Zoom sessions on a Friday night. I did, and then I gave him there was another kid, I can't think of his name now. I gave it to him. You see, most times I'll try and do it through Limerick Spurs as opposed to kind of doing it myself, because I'm granted happy just sitting in the background and just leaving Limerick Spurs kind of get the name as, look, they do this and they do that, the whole lot. I'm quite happy with that. And I mean, look, we've sent stuff over to fans over as well. If I could see, I mean, there was one there where he was a kid, I can't think of his name now because it was 3 or 4 months ago, and the club did something. The club did a video of him because he was minding his mother. She got COVID, so he was minding her, and he was minding her continuously.
Oh God!
So I messaged the club, and they sent me a message back on Twitter and just said, look, here's their address. So I posted stuff over to them, just little smart Limerick Spurs things, like it could be a flag and keyring and just something like that. And look, it's just stuff just to say thank you.
Yeah, sure.
That's it.
Yeah. Makes a difference.
Robbie Keane put up a post about 2 months ago about it was a special needs kid. I don't know, did you see it up in Dublin? He was a Man United fan, and he was asking for everybody to send him cards and stuff like that. So I went away and got a Man United face mask, but I got a Limerick Spurs birthday card, and I sent both of them to him. So stuff like that, just small little things, but they could mean the world to people. They could. So that's
100%.
Yeah, totally.
No,
it is.
It's certainly good, and I think in terms of, as you say, kind of like bringing Limerick Spurs into the profile, and we, like, as a podcast, one of the things we want to do. So we've got this fans in focus thing that we do, and we kind of talk to individual fans about what we think makes them interesting or what they think makes themselves interesting. But we also really would like to reach out to all the fans groups and just find out why Spurs, why do they get involved? What does the match day look like? Certainly if you're not going, for example, for yourself, if you're not going to the game, and as you say, you had for the final, you had 50 people crammed into a little downstairs in a pub. But what does that match day look like? For some of us, for the final, I met up with Andy. I think was it just us that was there? And
your son,
and my son, and we watched the we watched the Champions League final in a very despondent stadium.
It wasn't great, was
it? with people shouting at the screens like they could affect things, but everyone's match day experience is kind of different. And if I'm not going to the game, generally, if I'm not going to a game and I'm going to watch it on the TV or whatever, there's no prep for me. I would just it's a 5:30 kickoff. I'm doing all the such other shit, and then 5:30, I'll turn the telly on. I'm not interested in the preamble or anything like that. But obviously, as a part of a big supporters club and group, there's obviously this whole thing where you'll get together before, and there's some social element to it. And
there is. Well, generally, it's really only about it. Well, some lads would enjoy a few pints, so they'd have a few pints before, about 2 hours before the match. If the match is at 3 o'clock kickoff, let's say, we'd meet generally around 2 o'clock. Now it's we watch the matches in the Still House in Common Street, Limerick. Beautiful pub. Jason, the manager there, he's been fantastic to us. But it's not a Spurs specific pub. You won't get that anywhere in You may get it in America, you may get it in someplace else, but in Ireland, you really won't get, because the business